All right, so you're thinking about moving to Palm Coast, Florida. Before you pack up and buy that house, there are a few things that you need to know. Palm Coast is one of Florida's fastest growing coastal cities, known for its beautiful neighborhoods, miles of trails, affordable housing compared to many beach towns, and a laid back lifestyle. But it's not perfect. Some people love the quiet atmosphere, while others think it's a little bit too quiet. You heard about mixed opinions about the job market, nightlife, and even how spread out the city feels. So is Palm Coast a hidden gem on Florida's East Coast? Or is there a reason that some buyers choose to look elsewhere? In this video, we're going to be breaking down the biggest pros and cons of living in Palm Coast so you can decide if it's the right fit for you and your family. Let's get into it. Hey there, if you're new to the channel, you want to learn everything there is to know about living in New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas like our new territory, Palm Coast, or Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, Ponce Inlet, Port Orange, or Edgewater, then you have come to the right place. My name is Matt Ecoff. I'm usually joined by my beautiful wife, Rachel Ecoff, but she is out showing houses to people just like you today. We're joined by our beautiful teammate, Natalia, which is actually our Palm Coast specialist. Listen, we cover everything from the best neighborhoods to the hottest spots around town. We go from school zones to flood zones. Listen, we get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications about New Smyrna Beach, Palm Coast, and surrounding areas. We're going to be talking about Palm Coast pros and cons today. Okay, we did a lot of driving around. We did a Discover Palm Coast video not that long ago, and now we're going to talk about the pros and cons of living in the Palm Coast. So I'm an eternal optimist, Natalia, so I want to get into the pros first if we can.
Absolutely.
And the number one pro, in my opinion, is because this is a real estate channel as well, the number one pro is the affordability of the house.
You get a lot of bang for your buck.
A lot of bang for your buck. Yeah, we're not going to spend a lot of time going through this because we have 10 pros and 10 cons, so we're not going to, this is not going to be a real long list. It is a long list, excuse me, but it's just not going to spend a lot of time on this. So home prices are generally lower in Palm Coast compared to the other cities that we cover, Ponce Inlet, New Smyrna Beach, Ormond Beach, Port Orange. You get a lot of bang for your buck here, and especially for a coastal town.
Our second pro is its close proximity to the beach. I mean, you have the best of both worlds where you're within 20 minutes to your cities, your grocery stores, your everything, and right still by the beach. So you have that really great in between of big city life and then coastal beach life where you really see both.
Yeah, you're 30 minutes to Daytona, you're about 45 minutes to Jacksonville. St. Augustine's a 25 to 30 minute drive up the road. So you can get to some bigger hubs if you want to, but it is a quieter area for sure.
Yeah, and that what you just said brings us to our next pro, which is the location. We're in between everything without being a part of that big attraction. So we're just outside of it where we get to enjoy our secluded, coastal, quiet, private lifestyle while still being able to get to all those attractions. So we're close enough to everything that we can enjoy everything, but not so close to everything that we have to be a part of everything. We call it social adjacent.
Yeah, there you go. Social adjacent. I think number two, close to the beach, and number three, great location, are kind of together because you're so close to the beach. I mean, we have the beach right behind us here.
Yes.
We were just at some of the houses that we were looking at earlier today that we were showing, and you're the close proximity to the beach, the close location to some of the other cities. Both of those things, beach access, close proximity, or location, is great.
That's also to bring up, because of the amount of people that live here, which is 100,000 people, we have a really ethnically diverse group of people, which is really great. Living in New Smyrna Beach, while we do have a lot of people there, it's hard for me alone to go grocery shopping for Asian food. Here you have a ton of Asian markets, a ton of truly and genuine, authentic Asian restaurants. Not to mention there's something Puerto Rican in style, Cuban style. Everything that you could want is here being cooked by genuine people.
Well, genuine people probably cook all kind of stuff, but maybe the general ethnicity. Ethnicity. No, say it.
No, ethnicity.
There you go. You got it.
Accurate. Okay.
Say it again.
Ethnicity.
Ethnicity. There you go. Okay. All right. So number 5 pro is the nature. Okay. You have access to parks, walking trails, preserves, kayaking, fishing, and outdoor recreation. I mean, 130 miles of walkable trails, bike riding. We were driving around, and we see all these people walking and biking. I mean, and it's not cold outside. I mean, it's in the 90s, but people are outside. This is a nature's lover's paradise. And again, we're just going to talk about the affordability. So much bang for your buck to get this much. I mean, you moving from somewhere else to move to Florida, this is the kind of lifestyle that you want.
Really push it. You don't have to pay gas money either.
Yeah.
If you really decide to embrace the full biking life. It's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Get an e-bike. I mean, that's not as much exercise, but I mean, it's still fun. Screw exercise.
Screw exercise. The faster you go, the more fat you burn.
So let's talk about also having to go along with that, plenty of nature and riding the bike, but also less traffic than other major cities. Less traffic is going to be the number 6 pro. You're not going to feel nearly as much. I think also because you don't have a lot of people in Palm Coast that are commuting. Social adjacent, exactly, because you don't have people commuting as much, and so the traffic is lower. The roads are wider, a lot of 2-lane roads, even in areas that don't seem like there's that much stuff. I mean, actually the majority of the streets to get to the residential neighborhoods are, 4 lanes, 2 on each side. So less traffic than Florida major cities is pro number 6. So number 7 is a strong sense of safety.
Those all tie together. I would like to say we're social adjacent. There's not a lot of traffic that comes in here, and it's safe.
It is safe, which is why you see so many small families and young families moving in here.
And retirees moving in here. Yeah. It's a very worry-free city.
Yep.
You're here, you're living the simple life, it's easy. You know where everyone is.
It's quieter and it's a lot more residential than some of the larger cities that we cover. All right, so pro number 8 is the newer housing stock. So like Natalia said earlier, there's 100,000 residents in Palm Coast, so it is it's a sizable town. I mean, compared to New Smyrna Beach, where we only have 35,000, Ormond Beach, where you have 45,000. I mean, this is a pretty big place, but it doesn't feel like it's that big. And so the newer housing stock, you have a lot of newer developments here and a lot of newer communities here. So I think that Palm Coast got one of the negatives I know that we're probably going to get to is that it grew too fast, but that also can be a positive too because of the housing stock that's available.
It really depends on who you are and what you're looking for.
Yeah, most of the developments were built in recent decades.
Good for retirees and families. We're going to say it one more time, even though we've said it 100 times.
So pro number 9 then is good for retirees and families, and it is the biggest the biggest groups that we see here are retirees, remote workers, and family, because you don't have that commute. The city is appealing to that. Again, we got great schools. According to niche.com, it gets a B+ for its public school rating, and actually it's rated number 2 according to Niche, number 2 place to live in Flagler County. So
now, on top of the schools, I would like to point out, and this is our pro number 10, it is so clean and well planned out.
Yeah, clean and well planned is number 10.
It's well planned, and that's right next to who it's good for. You're sending your kids to school here, you're sending your parents here, and you can sit safe at home knowing they're living in a clean, well thought out, well planned, well put together area.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. So Palm Coast was originally a master plan community that ended up growing huge, wide roads, abundant green spaces, organized neighborhoods. Talk about the organized neighborhoods, because it's a real fun fact about the alphabet and the neighborhoods, and this is the only city that I know of that does this. So this is actually very, very interesting. Let's talk about it for a second.
All your street names, if they start with a C, they're in the C group and they're all next to each other. If they start with an A, they're in the A group, they're all next to each other. So it's basically different subdivisions.
The zones are broken up by the letter, and then that letter, if you're in C zone, then all of your streets start with C. If you're in the Z zone, you're in all your streets start with Z. Actually, we should find Z, because that's a hard one that starts with Z. But it's cool because you're like, hey, what neighborhood do you live in? I live on Ponderwood. Okay, well, Ponderwood. So you're in the P neighborhood. Okay,
I'm about 10 minutes from P neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm in L.
Yeah, I'm in the L neighborhood. I live on Longview. So that's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing. So the fact that it was a master plan community, Palm Coast, it is very organized. And again, it goes back to some of the other things. The safety and no traffic, and the streets being wide and having the green nature space. So all of those things tie together. So those are 10 pros. Let's get into the cons. All right, so let's talk about our con number 1. And this is a debatable subject because, if you're not growing, you're dying. But number 1 con is rapid growth, okay? And it's where most people talk negative, the residents talk negatively about it, because it's growing quickly, which is leading to increased traffic, construction, and the strain on its infrastructure that it wasn't planning on having all these people.
Which, I mean, anytime you build new construction anywhere, you're always going to hear from the residents, why are we building more? Keep it local, keep it small. And I think that selfishly, that's what we want, even though economically, a lot of times that's what's going to be better.
Well, your dad is a chiropractor here in Palm Coast. Well, has an office here in Palm Coast, and
he's worked here for the last almost 10 years, actually.
And for him, growing population is good. A rapid population is good. But so if you're an entrepreneur, you're a local business owner, then it's great. But if you're a resident that likes quiet streets and quiet neighborhoods, then it can definitely be a con. So I definitely think this would be con number 1. Con number two, this is a big one for a lot of people, is con number two is limited with nightlife. Listen, if you're a nightlife person and you like Daytona and you like New Smyrna Beach because it's got that stuff, this is not the place for you. The nightlife here is very limited, if any at all.
If you want to go enjoy nightlife, I think the closest place you could is maybe St. Augustine or Daytona.
Yeah.
So again, I don't really want to drive 30 minutes to my nightlife. You know?
Exactly. So if nightlife is your thing, this is probably vibrant nightlife, let's call it. Then this is probably not going to be your spot. Okay, let's talk about number three. Now this can go both ways. Okay, so con number three is car dependent community. Now, with 130 miles of trails and all the bike riding that we've seen, it's hard to, I get it because, it's split between the east side of 95 and the west side of 95, and because the developments are so far apart, that's where probably,
it gets difficult. But if you're within the west side of 95 and you're by all those stores, you don't need a car. You can 100% bike or golf cart ride, or even walk to where you need to go. I have a lot of patients who live on the west side of 95 who don't own a car and who bike from their house to the store and then to my office. But if you're living on the east side where you're not near all the grocery stores and the main town, the heart of Palm Coast, I would say, then you're going to need a car. And that's,
if you want to live on the water, which is most of the houses that are on the east coast of 95, then it's going to be a 20-minute drive to a Publix, the Walmart. Some of the stores, some of the restaurants, things like that. So even to get gas, it's going to be a little bit farther away.
But that is to say, everything is within, once you get into the main area of town, it's all within 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, choose your poison. You could take a boat 15 minutes to the Intracoastal if you sacrifice the, bike ride to the grocery store.
Yeah. So con number three is our car dependent community. Con number four is limited high paying job opportunities. Okay, you're going to have to go to, not to say that there aren't those high paying job opportunities. Your dad's a chiropractor, there's a hospital here, there's some healthcare facilities. I'm sure there's law offices, things like that. But you have less opportunities than some of our bigger cities.
Yeah.
Many residents are going to commute or work remotely, which with what we talked about, one of the biggest people that live here is remote workers, again, due to the smaller local job market.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get into con number five.
Which kind of ties in, this Palm Coast can feel suburban because of that rapid growth and the constant building and the new developments. But a lot of times when you're working remote or you're living here, which again, like we said, it appeals to retirees, small families, and people who really are working remote, you're not spending that much time in your neighborhood a lot of times. You are out playing golf, you are out biking, you are out on the boat, you aren't going to be home, you're kayaking, you're on a nature trail.
Yeah.
So a lot of times for people here anyways, your home does end up just becoming a place where you lay your head to rest, because during the day you go golfing and you go get a drink and then you come home and take a nap.
Yeah, because you live like your vacation
get
here.
Dinner and then go home and sleep.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's not, and again, that's not to say that there aren't homes here that aren't suburban and that are.
Yeah, look, this is I think a con for a reason. That some buyers love the quiet atmosphere, but they also, they find that it lacks the energy of some other coastal cities, and they want to live a beachy lifestyle, and they don't necessarily feel that. Yeah, let's get into con number six, which is hot and humid summers. Now, we're sitting out in the shade next to the ocean, and I'm still got glistening on my head because it is still hot out here.
Makes it easy to find though, like a disco ball.
Yeah, like a disco ball. I said earlier, I think my head is shinier than it normally is. It's like, nope, it's always that shiny. I'm like, oh, thanks, awesome. But listen, I just want to tell the audience, just real quick, if I haven't said this before, I am not bald. I shave my head, okay, and there's a big difference between being bald and shaving your head.
Exactly what someone who's bald would say.
I do shave my head every morning.
It's okay, my hair makes up for his lack of hair.
Yes, and Rachel's hair too. It makes up for my lack of hair.
Yeah, I bet you never stop finding hair in your car.
So no, I don't, and my daughter too with long blonde hair. So, but look, we're not talking about hair right now. We're talking about hot and humid summers. Okay, Florida weather isn't for everyone, especially during hurricane season, which we're coming into now. It is hot, it is humid, but we do have the beach. We do have outdoor activities. You sweat a little bit more, but you have a lot more access to pool and nature trails and the beach and intercoastal and boating. So, you can't have everything perfect in Florida.
Just go swimming in the ocean and you'll be cooled off.
So that rolls into con number 7, which is our hurricane risk, okay? Mm-hmm. We are on the east coast of Florida, and right in the middle. Now, we don't get as many hurricanes recently as now we're in 2026. We haven't had nearly as many hurricanes as the West Coast has had recently. They've been getting hit really, really hard, but we always do have that hurricane risk. And so you have to worry about that a little bit, or at least not worry about it, but just at least prep for it. Be ready for it, have that backup generator ready, if it's not a whole home already in the house, have the water and the food supplies and the toilet paper. God knows everybody goes out and buys toilet paper like crazy when it gets to around hurricane season, but we do have the hurricane risk, and so that had to be on the con list.
Of course.
All right, so let's talk about con number 8. I'm gonna let you take this one. What is con number 8?
There's limited luxury shopping. So if you're
if Rachel was here, you and her could have a whole video on this.
Listen, me and Rachel have been obsessed with closets recently. Matt knows why.
Yes.
So the limited luxury shopping thing, if you're someone who likes to leave your house and spend $1,000 on a purse, this isn't going to be the place for you. If you're someone who likes to go window shop at Gucci, Chanel, if you're the kind of person who wants to go look at shoes at Louis Vuitton, this isn't going to be where you're going to find that. You're going to have to commute to, again, Orlando, St. Augustine, maybe Daytona. So that's going to be your 30-minute drive that we're seeing again. It's about 90 minutes to Orlando, but 30 to St. Augustine and Daytona. And so if you're someone who loves window shopping or who just loves clothes shopping and stuff like that in general, this is not going to be where you're going to find that.
Yeah, so major luxury retailers and upscale entertainment options are generally found in the nearby cities, like Natalia said, Daytona Beach, Jacksonville. Definitely New Smyrna Beach has some higher end places, but you're not going to really find that in Palm Coast. All right, so let's get into number 9, which is healthcare options. They're improving, but they are limited here right now.
Absolutely. There's not a lot of specialized healthcare things.
Yeah, there's quality providers locally, but some specialized care requires travel to the larger cities, for specialized care. So, and it's odd. I think it's improving. It's odd because it's Palm Coast and it's such a big retiree city, and it's good that it's improving. But it's odd that it wasn't here kind of at the beginning stages.
Well, that's not to say there are a lot of Advent Healths opening here, which is going
it's improving.
Expand that specialized healthcare system. I think here, because before the massive growth, there was such a small group and such a small kind of genre of people where it was retirees or young families, small families. So there's a lot of specialists really needed for those two age groups. It's very limited. But now that, again, Palm Coast is growing, we're going to see more different specific healthcare needs.
Yeah. All right, so con number 10 is it's a big city, but not really. Okay, Palm Coast covers a large geographic area, so it can feel really spread out. However, despite the size, many residents still run into familiar faces often. We were talking about that earlier. And it can maintain a small town community where people know each other. But with 100,000 residents, it's not. And there can be this, you live in C community, I live in Z community, and it can be a 20-minute commute from the two things. So this, it's a big city, but also not really. So anyway, that's going to cover our 10 pros and our 10 cons of Palm Coast. We're discovering Palm Coast. It's been a little bit more time. It is an area with Kaya coming on as a new teammate on our team, on our Living in New Smyrna Beach channel. This is an area that we had to cover because she knows a lot of people here. She's got a lot of resources here. Her dad has an office here. She's come here for the last 10 years of her life, and it's been a good amount of time here. And we have been getting phone calls about Palm Coast. So listen, we do get phone calls, emails, text messages, Zoom invites every day from people just like you wanting to move to the beach. So whether that be in 2 days, 20 days, or 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you move to the beach. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications on New Smyrna Beach and surrounding areas like Palm Coast. And even if you're not moving to the beach, even if you're moving somewhere else and you need a qualified agent, reach out to us. We know agents all around the country. At our brokerage, we have 3,300 locations worldwide, and so we know agents all over the place. So if you need a referral, reach out. We can pre-qualify somebody, or we might even know somebody right off the top of our head. Hey, we're going to put you in front of this person. So reach out. Thanks for joining us on this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If I didn't already say it, please like and subscribe so you get all the updates and notifications about the channel.
And his bald head.
Don't comment about my bald head unless you talk my bald is beautiful. Okay, I don't want you to comment unless you're saying bald is beautiful. All right, thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye, guys.